how to overcome burnout. All right, so you've burnt out. You are physically, mentally, and emotionally exhausted, right? You've gone down the garden path to burnout. You're now completely tapped out. You're at absolutely zero. You have nothing left in the tank. So what do you do now? So here's the thing. When we're looking at overcoming burnout, we have to go in different stages, but we have to go through those different stages. So step one to overcoming burnout is you just have to get back to you, right? You have to restore your energy. You have to do what I call doing the basics. Getting enough rest, getting enough sleep, making sure you're eating healthy, making sure you're getting your body moving to where you are right now, right? Just really simple stuff, eating well, exercising to where your body's at. So not going off and doing a marathon, but maybe doing some yoga, just getting that body moving, all that kind of stuff. And making sure you're resting, getting enough sleep, sort of getting back to that reset, right? But here's the thing, what I have noticed, and I'm guilty of this, my clients are guilty of it, is what happens is a lot of the times people take time off, they start to feel a bit better because, they've removed themselves from a stressful situation, whether that's work, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a situation, whatever it is, right? They remove themselves from that situation, they have the time and the space to sort of build themselves up, but then what they do is they put themselves in the exact same situation. And they're more likely to burn out again, but much faster. So this is what we would call cyclical burnout. And that's what we need to avoid. If you have already burnt out and you are in that sort of stage where you've just built yourself up, but you've done nothing else, you're going to burn out again. Or it's going to be much easier for you to burn out again. So once you've kind of got your energy levels restored, you have to go to stage 2. And stage 2 is really just taking an audit. Really understanding what were the situations, what were the circumstances, what were the elements that led you to burnout in the first place. And you have to be really honest with yourself, really understanding all the different areas that sort of created a perfect storm for you to burn out. Was it work? Was it your manager? Was it relationships? Was it the pressure that you're putting on yourself? Really understanding that. So the things that you have to look at in your audit was, obviously work environment, home environment, your physical well-being. Were you doing the basics like taking care of yourself, getting enough sleep, exercising, dieting, all that kind of stuff? Not dieting, but like eating healthy. Were you doing all of that? Then really taking an audit of how do you manage stress? What is your perception of stress? So for instance, a really good question to ask yourself, when you hear the word stress, how do you manage it? Do you look on how to solve that problem? Or do you try to ignore it? Do you push it to the side? Do you sort of avoid, managing your stress, avoid managing it, pushing it to the side? Do you engage in toxic positivity where you are looking for the positives of every situation? So your whole world could be on fire, but you're focusing on the one positives. All of these things are going to lead to burnout because you're more likely to avoid and ignore what's actually going on as well. If you perceive stress as a positive thing, and if you're constantly telling yourself, I work really well under stress and pressure, but you've burnt out more than one, or you've burnt out on you're maybe potentially on the road to burnout again, really actually understanding and questioning that. So that's kind of stage 2. So really understanding all the different elements. So your beliefs, your attitudes, your behaviors, your actions, your environment, all of that, how that encompasses on how you burnt out. And the third thing is really understanding what changes have you put in place. Now, this can be really, really challenging, right? So really changing. So once you understand your beliefs, once you understand your perceptions, once you understand the environments, all the different elements, what actions have you put in place to make sure that you don't burn out again, to make sure that you can manage your stress? So really putting that into place. So for instance, challenging your beliefs around stress. If you think it's 100% a positive thing, is that actually healthy? Is there another way to look at it? Really changing how you react to it as well. When you're feeling stressed out, do you now look for solving those problems, or are you going to keep avoiding all of those things? What actions are you going to put in place to make sure that you can overcome it, right? That's the most important element here. And I know it sounds like a lot of work, and it can be quite a bit of work, right? But even if you just start off making sure that you're putting healthy habits in place, putting boundaries in place to make sure that you're protected, that's the only real way that you're going to be able to overcome burnout without burning out again. Now, if you are not sure if you have burnt out, make sure that you take our burnout score down below. If you have any questions, pop them down in the comment section below as well. If you want to see some of the other things that we're doing, make sure you follow us on all our socials. And again, if you have any questions, just reach out.